Hi, everybody. It's Granny here. Hey, just wanted to talk about the Bryan Kohberger happenings. A lot going on. We're going to talk about the indictment from the grand jury, which was done in secret. Usually they are. We're going to talk about when court is next, which may surprise some of you. Um, we're also going to touch base on some of the other oh, speculation that's going on regarding drugs, a guy named Dave. We're going to talk about all of that in just a little bit here. All right. So, yeah, we found out overnight that the grand jury indicted Bryan Kohberger. What does this mean? It means kind of just like how they select a jury for a trial. A jury was selected for the grand jury. This was done in secret. Defense knew nothing about it. Okay. Prosecution, the jury, and the judge. That's all that's there. Okay. The witnesses that were there for the grand jury, they were all secret as well. That was all secretive. So there were people that testified for that. And then the grand jury deliberated, and they decided that there is enough evidence for Bryan Kohberger to be charged with these 4 murders. Okay. So he does go to trial. What does that mean? Well, the preliminary hearing is no more. Okay. That goes away because the grand jury trial took that away. Okay. So now a couple of different things can happen. Bryan can put in a request for a speedy trial, or he can waive it. Like he did the preliminary hearing, he can waive it. Now, the lawyer, who I like to watch, he states, maybe you could always request a speedy trial later. But if we request a speedy trial now, it forces the prosecution to get everything that they need together. Okay. And get this thing going, because once they're in court, then that to set the hearing date, then that goes from there. The clock starts ticking. Okay. So when are they going to court? Well, there were documents that came out that there are 3 hearings on Monday. They don't say what they're for. Okay, there's 3 separate hearings. One may be about the gag order. The other may be Bryan's plea, what he's going to plea. We don't know what the other one's for. However, so maybe they'll start the trial at that point, or I don't know. We don't know what the third one is for, but we'll find out Monday, the 22nd. Yes, it's that fast, guys. I don't know if any of you knew that. I saw some of the media around. The lawyer actually broke that news this morning early, which I was already at work. So I couldn't get on to tell you guys about it. I cannot wait until retirement so that I can jump on right away and let you guys know what's going on, the drop of a hat. Because it was bugging me all day. It really was. So, yes, that is what's going to happen. Now, there is another there's talk about the gag order, and they're, the media, the state, and the defense, they're all fighting because they want the gag order lifted, blah, blah, blah. It's going back and forth, back and forth. And in the meantime, the state and the defense are going after each other. The defense wants evidence, and they're saying the state hasn't given it all to them, and the state has said, we gave you over $20,000 documents and blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we do not know. Once again, and it seems like this case is just full of that, right? So once again, everything going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I am so impressed with this prosecution already, going for the grand jury, being very secretive, which, that's nothing new, I guess, for grand juries. They usually are held in secret, and even the defense don't know about them because the defense is not there. Defense is not invited to this party, okay? But then they will get all the documents relating to what happened in the trial for the grand jury. So it's not that it's kept from them. It's not that the prosecution did anything wrong, by no means. So, you could look at it as another way for them to have kept everything secret. All the evidence that they showed at the grand jury, we don't know it, right? Okay. So there was another document that was filed today, and I'm just going to show you a little excerpt from Peter Tragos, the lawyer, from his broadcast today, where he does a really great job of talking about the order and explaining what it is. And then we'll come right back and we'll talk about it. If any of you do not follow the lawyer, I recommend you head on over there. He's on it's at Tragos Law. He is on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Here we go.
Comes now, state of Idaho. Prosecuting attorney moved this court to seal the names of all the witnesses examined before the grand jury. In support, the state respectfully represents to this court that it had received numerous complaints from potential or prospective witnesses or their families and associates regarding being harassed, both in person and via social media. The reports of harassment have included threats, as well as what appears to be intimidation. Given this and the broad publicity surrounding these proceedings, the state respectfully submits that releasing the names of these witnesses who appeared before the grand jury would invite additional harassment, intimidation, and possible threats, and undermine not only the integrity of this case, but the parties' prospective rights to a fair trial with an impartial jury. The state respectfully requests this court seal that witness list. This right here, ladies and gents, is a little bit of a precursor or a preview as to what we are going to see in this case. They are going to fight tooth and nail with arguments like this to block access. And it may be warranted because I don't want any witnesses to be intimidated or harassed or threatened. But this could be the argument made by the state. This could also be what the defense's expert is going to come in and testify about. And then we could see if the court just bans everything. No cameras, No audio equipment, no nothing. Or maybe next day stuff like Lori Vallow. Because immediately, let's go ahead and jump to the order, the old same day order. The judge grants this order. And what's also interesting about this order is we see down here, John C. Judge, is a district court judge who is now taking over the case. And that's another thing that changes. The magistrate is no longer in charge. This is in the jurisdiction of the district court. He will be making the decisions now in this case, which means he will be looking. Yeah, right now it says, Penny, for your thoughts. Right now it says video and audio delayed. I'm waiting to see if that holds true. We had that in the Vallow case, and then it got taken away. So I'm still waiting. I know what it says right now. I know the chat. I appreciate you guys letting me know. I know what it says. But if they're filing this motion, do you really believe that they would have had this preliminary hearing and not tried to seal it or keep things secret by making the same arguments? And that's tough for a judge not to agree to. So that's just my opinion where I'm kind of looking at this. I hope I'm wrong, just to be clear. But district court judge comes into play. What that could affect coming forward is the gag order. The magistrate's the one who wrote the gag order. The magistrate's the one who they originally or now are asking to amend or get rid of it. Now that's going to be a decision for this judge. He could throw it out. He could amend it. He could make it more strict. He could make it less strict. Or he could write a completely new non-dissemination order that he finds to be appropriate. So usually judges want to agree with each other. They don't want to upset the milk carton. Is that what it is? I don't even know why I try with those things. But yeah, usually judges don't want to overrule things other judges do, and they have respect for each other. So I don't think he's going to just totally disregard what the prior judge did. But somebody just said the judge is a woman. I was like, wait. I knew it was Judge. No, I don't. I think John C. Judge. I'm confident that's a man. Confident. But all right, let's get to your questions now.
Okay. So interesting news there, right? So now we have a new judge, magistrate, it's in the district court now. And there's talking, the prosecution put out there that the witnesses need to be protected. They don't need to be harassed, anything like that. So now, and then that magistrate approved that order today. It was dated today. Okay. So the prosecution was already thinking of this and had it ready and in place. And the judge signed it right away and said yes. So what Peter Tragos was talking about there is this new magistrate could change up the order, could keep the gag order the same, could rewrite it, could allow cameras in the court, could decide, nope, they're not allowed in the court, could even decide that we can't even have audio. So I hope not. I mean, I hope at the very least we get audio. I feel the public has a right to know what's going on. I understand. I honestly, any of you that have watched any of my previous videos regarding the Idaho 4, you know where I stand on this case. I don't believe there... In the beginning, there was so much speculation going on to the tune of naming boyfriends of the victims as killers. And and it's not that speculation is bad, guys. It's not, but we need to be very, very careful I mean, there was even a court case because a professor at the University of Idaho was accused of being the killer. And there was even a court case. So it's, yes, we have free speech. No doubt about that, right? We do. But when we're harming others with our speech, we need to be careful. We need to draw the line there. We cannot do that. Try to put yourselves in their position, okay? So I'm just going to say it. We know that Kaylee's on off again boyfriend, Jack, there was speculation about him, correct? You know, how would you feel if something happened? I mean, I guess that's a hard way to put it, but if it was your brother, if Jack was your brother, that was being accused, and the poor guy, I mean, he was grieving, you know, um, because whether they were together or not, they had been together many years. You don't just turn off love like that, right? So the poor guy was grieving and being accused at the same time. And then there was others that were named. And now it's happening kind of in a different way. And I think it has gotten so out of hand with this case because of the gag order. And because in the beginning, law enforcement, prosecution were being very tight-lipped, right? Okay, so then that gets everybody's minds just reeling. Oh, it's him. Oh, it's him. Oh, it's him. Oh, no, it's her. So now it's drugs. It was a party house, drugs. And you know what, guys? I didn't go stay at a dormitory in college or anything like that. I did go to college, but I didn't stay at a dormitory like that or a house. But I may be old. I may be, but I'm not dumb. And I think that there are probably a lot of college towns and a lot of homes. And I would think that somewhere at some point in time, every place that holds, college kids, that there's been drugs done there at some point or another. That's the way things are today. That does not surprise me. Do I agree with it? Well, that doesn't even matter. I don't need to judge that. It's that it is what it is and it's their individual rights. So I just leave that alone. But what I'm saying is that was there probably drugs at the house? Probably. Was that the reason they were killed? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know, but you know, remember that Bryan is considered innocent until proven guilty. However, not however, but um, if he is the person that did this, it looks to be more of a stalkerish kind of issue than a drug issue. Could it have a little bit involvement? Could that have been the reason how he knew the house? Maybe, maybe. But we don't know that. We don't know, no one has come out and said that this was a drug involved homicide. No one. Um, this Dave guy said that supposedly he'd been there doing drugs. Does that surprise me? No. No, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like I said, I think most houses that hold college kids probably have had them drugs there at some point or another. Whether it's one individual doing it in their bedroom or whatever the case may be, I don't know. But I would tend to say that most of them have had that. But I'm just saying, guys, I was watching just a little bit of another broadcast earlier. I was trying to catch a little bit more about this Dave guy, right? But this guy went on to say that Emma Bailey and Demetrius, who are accused of unaliving another young college kid, or causing an overdose or something like that, that they might be guilty of this crime too, and that things are looking more and more like Kohberger didn't do it. And you guys, the police did their due diligence. The prosecution went through every piece of evidence. They still have things coming in. They do. They still have things that are coming back from the lab. And do you honestly think that the authorities would put someone behind bars that they didn't believe was actually capable and had the intentions of doing this according to the evidence that they have? Okay. Now, obviously, they have looked into Emma Bailey, Demetrius, and then this Dave guy, I don't know if he's talked to the police. If he has, then he's probably been told not to speak. If he hasn't, then why hasn't he? If he feels he has so much to talk about. We need to be really, really careful with rampant speculation. Okay? It has hurt so many people at the beginning of this tragedy. And please keep that in mind when you're watching something that is going off on a tangent this completely opposite way than what law enforcement has shown us. Okay. Am I saying that law enforcement prosecution is right all the time? Absolutely not. We know that they put wrong people in jail, but with today's DNA, that alone And, with the technology that they have, the cell phone towers, all that stuff, with all that technology, they've got this on their side. Before, when they put people behind bars that didn't belong there, we didn't have that kind of technology. Okay. And in fact, DNA is helping to get those people free now, because it's showing somebody else did it. So you guys, trust the law enforcement, trust what we're hearing. You can think about those other things. It doesn't hurt to listen, I guess, but don't repeat. Let's not go, this is one of the reasons why they are stopping us from, having cameras in court. So one of the reasons why there's a gag order on this case. So we need to be really, really careful. We can say that they took away, our right to hear the information, the right of free speech. But you guys, whether we want to believe it or not, Kohberger deserves a fair trial because he is innocent until proven guilty. And if any of us were accused of doing something, we would want that same right. Okay. And that is what our justice system is all about. So let's please be careful. Let's not repeat, and let's not go off on these tangents and get everybody all hyped up and yeah, saying it may not be Kohberger after all. Excuse me, because a grand jury just indicted him. Okay. So, I don't know. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy everything. And if you do, please like, subscribe, hit that little bell for the notification so that you can hear when I'm going to do my next one. And you know what, guys? I think it's about time for a haircut. What do you think? It's just kind of going flat, deader than dead. And it's cold in Wisconsin today. I wanted to just let you know that. We had like 70-degree days for almost a week now. And today I got up and it was 40 degrees. And it's cold. I had my windows open at night here. And well, I still have them open, but it's cold. It's cold. It's almost June. It's got to warm up at some point. All right. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. And let's get up to 100, because if you noticed, actually, I'm not going to tell you. Go to the community page to see what we're giving away when we hit 100 subscribers. And I know that's low, but I want to celebrate. I want to celebrate because I realize we're going slow, and that's because I'm working full time and I'm old. But I'm really working hard to try and get this thing up and going and give you the content that you want to hear. Okay. So we will see you soon. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one.